It's the day after Boxing Day, and we both had a bit of a unpleasant Christmas with a tummy bug. Not really enjoyed the good food we had planned. And there was a storm last night, as you can see, and one of our trees has got blown down. We've been stuck indoors for a few days because of the upset tummies, but today the West Somerset railway trains are starting to run again for the Christmas specials. I thought, well, now that I'm up and about, let's see if we can get into Minehead and film some of the early preparations for getting the trains ready. It'll be different, something different to what I can normally film. So I've got plenty of work to fill in the rest of the days here, sorting this little lot out. I don't know if we can save the tree or whether it's goodbye blue cherry blossom. It's about 8 degrees centigrade, not too bad compared to what it can be sometimes this year. In fact, it's been quite a mild approach of winter, and one of the plants that we love here is our fuchsia plant, and it's still in flower, look, almost into the new year. We haven't had any significant frosts this year to kill it off. Even the lesser plant here has still got a flower or two on it. I wonder how it will, normally this gets beaten right back by the frost and has to mostly grow from little spikes again. If it survives through the winter, it all depends whether we get much more cold weather. Anyway, let's make our way to Minehead. Well, it's 8:30 in the morning. The weather has turned into worse than it was earlier. Rain starting in. I'm just wondering if we see any other trees blown down on the way into Minehead.
Not really any trees there, are there?
That place looks almost purple, doesn't it? Which is unusual.
Yeah, it's a sort of purpley colour. That's a 28 plants.
Of course, those getting the local ready for service is going to work for an hour or more by now, I guess. I know the first train's 10:15, but it takes at least a couple of hours to get steam locomotive ready for service. The unmentioned heroes, really. Whenever we see a train on the railway, we should remember those who got up so early to prepare it.
Better not do that.
Clear left. Right, should be in Minehead within a quarter of an hour or so, provided there's no further traffic disturbance. Might be interesting to see what the conditions are like going through some of the little villages, because they closed this road off to improve the flood drainage some weeks ago. Let's see if there's any flooding left on the road on the way in today. Just coming into Washford, there's a lot of surface water here draining down from the fields. I think this is the main road into Minehead. It takes one wide vehicle to completely block the road in places. There's a fair bit of traffic on the road this early.
New driver, I think, he's unfortunate.
just gone by Wasford Station.
This is brakes on every time he gets. Yeah, there's a new driver.
Yeah, the local bus drivers are normally known for the speed at which they travel through these narrow roads. The one in front of us today is being very cautious, very sensible too. You've only got to go around the bend and find a tree down, and then you've got real problems. Just coming down by Dragon's Cross, where the road was actually closed for the improvements to the flood relief. So we'll see if there's any significant flooding now after the improvements. Again, a lot of the flood water is caused by water draining down from the adjacent fields. You can see it there, still draining down. Lighter anyway as each minute goes by. Now this is where it used to flood badly, but considering the amount of rain we've had, it's not too bad here now. A little bit left there. That was another spot that sometimes gets flooded, but no, we haven't had it too bad at all in this part of the country, unlike those poor people over in the southeast. I reckon they must have cancelled that scheme to change these traffic lights. They were going to change them to some new weird kind of zebra crossing.
Where?
The ones we just passed. They forecast that was going to close the road for weeks, but they did that. I think they've thought better about it somehow. Junk shop. Oh, it does say open now, but yeah, still.
I think it's open this area.
It's got the open now signs there.
It's about 10. It'll be closed as well this week.
Just approaching the fields beside Dunster Castle, and they, yeah, I can say they normally flood in bad weather. Sure enough. Little lake forming there. Here's this little local river. Don't get much of a glance of it from the road, just a quick glance as we go over the bridge. But that's quite busy. Gotta be quick to see it though. Down in there. Anyway, generally speaking, it's go off pretty lightly in the storms. Yeah, got big flooding over there, it's got pretty sea away.
be.
What's the time now? Just gone 9:15.
Is that fast enough?
That field is down lower than we are, so you can't really film it now, but that is, I should say, about 40% covered in water over there now, that field.
That one there. It's quite bad in there.
As we come down to the level crossing, might be able to sideways glance to see if there's much activity at the station yet.
It's really bright here, isn't it?
Yes, the weather's getting better all the time, and that heavy rain stopped
Might not be
again.
too bad for a bit.
What do we see up on the station? Oh, it looked very dead actually. Couldn't even see the loco in steam.
Sure it's not the 29th? It's definitely sure. You looked up, did you? It was today?
That's right. But I don't get it ready as early as I was thinking. Oh, I think they need to. Right. So I'll stop filming now as we come in towards the seafront at Minehead. Next footage should be on or near the station platforms. We can see some locos in steam there. Oh, it's some interesting freight vehicles here. Whether that's had a coat of paint, I don't remember that one from before. And this container wagon, oh, that's a new one to me.